The Icons of Real Estate Podcast. Are you ready to learn the proven money-making secrets from top-producing Icon agents? Ready to skyrocket your business? This podcast is for you. Tune in every week and find out how to implement proven strategies to 10 times your business, from $3 million to $30 million in just 12 months. Brought to you by the Masters at Real Estate Marketing, Arter SEO.
Welcome to the Icons of Real Estate. I'm Tim Calloway. We have a very special guest for you today from the great city, Cincinnati, Ohio, Holly Maloney. How are you, Holly?
I am great, Tim. Thanks for having me today. I'm super excited.
I am as well. So you're in Cincinnati. You're with eXp Realty, which is, we've talked to a lot of eXp agents, so I know you've got some good stuff for us today. So let's just start at the beginning, Holly. Tell me how you got started in real estate. Did you always want to be a realtor, or is it just something you kind of found and fell in love with?
Well, like everybody else, I don't think you grow up being a realtor unless you have family in the business.
Right.
I always wanted to be a pediatric nurse. And right out of high school, I went to nursing school and I was 6 months away from graduating with my degree. And I decided to take a break.
Wow.
Stupid looking back, one of those decisions, but it led me to this great path. So I took a break. I worked part-time at a bank, and I met my husband at that time, and we knew each other 6 weeks and we got engaged.
Wow.
So yeah, wow, I know, and my mom and my parents were just, beside themselves. I was the youngest, but they say when you know, and we've been married 34 years. So
congratulations.
And 5 kids later. So fast forward, I was working at the bank. I stayed on at the bank after we got married and got pregnant with my first son and went on maternity leave and went back and had a daughter 12 weeks and a day later, had my second baby and decided to be as I know. So I got pregnant right away. And so I had 2 babies and I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. So I was actually lucky enough to be able to do that. And then I had 2 more children. So we had a total of 4 children and a stepson. So we had 5. And my 4 were they were all under the age of 10. So they all went to private schools and I was a stay-at-home mom. I was loving what I did. I was going to go back to work when they were in grade school and I kept applying for jobs. In the meantime, let me go back. When they were little, I went to a Tupperware party.
Yeah.
And it blew me away. I was 9 months pregnant with my 3rd baby and it blew me away how much women spent on Tupperware.
Right.
And I was like, well, I can do this. I certainly could do this. But it defeated the purpose because I'd be working at nights and wouldn't get to see my husband, my family. So I started doing Tupperware bingos. And I would hold them one night a week at the school gym for $50. And I would have 10 or 15 parties.
Wow.
So I was the top at the Tupperware. I was at the top. I drove a brand new van every 2 years and loved that. And then Rubbermaid came along. We all know what happened there.
Right.
And, it's still selling. So when they were all in grade school, I was going to go back to work and I kept applying for jobs and I kept getting them. And I was freaking out and I was like, oh, I don't want to justify to anyone when my children are sick. I don't want to, only have so many weeks vacation. I love to vacation. I love to spend time with my children, my kids, everything. Yeah. And my husband's uncle was a manager at a real estate company. And he said, you ought to just get your real estate license. And I had a friend who was getting her real estate license and We went to school together. She lasted 2 days and dropped out. And I stayed, and I know. And besides all the odds, I stayed and finished. And I was with a real nice real estate company. I was like everybody else, I was young and dumb. I got my license in 2004. I was on a 50-50 split for about 6 years because I didn't know any better.
Oh, wow.
No, I didn't know there was anything different. I was doing relocation and paying that referral fee on top of my 50-50 split.
Yeah.
Got a lot of clients, and I was only going to sell 1 or 2 houses a year.
Right.
Famous last story from everybody.
Sure.
They tell you that I'm only going to sell 2 houses a year. And I was at our local board at the Cincinnati Real Estate Board. I was newcomer of the year in 2004. I was top in my office in the leader sales board every month. And my husband says, I never do anything half. So, I jumped in full force, and I have been, the CABR leader in 2020 or 2019. I was Realtor of the Year in the Cincinnati Area Board of Realtors.
Yeah.
And
awesome.
I was voted there were 6,500 agents, and I was voted as Realtor of the Year. I've been Women of Influence in several magazines, and I love what I do. And Tim, I will tell you the reason why I love what I do, because like I had said, I had kept applying for jobs and I would get them as manager, and
right.
And I just kept getting all these jobs, but nothing worked around my children. Right. And my family was the most important thing to me. And with 5 children and being in real estate, I had a career. And people always say it's just a job. But I actually had my own career that worked around my family. I was the room mom. I was the PTC president. I was the hot lunch lady. I did everything with my kids.
Everything you could, yeah.
Everything I could, and still excelled and made great money, but it was all on my family's terms. They were all an appointment. I could go to most of their games. I would do everything, and built my business. So that was what was really important to me. And a lot of people discount that out, and they think, oh, well, I can't be a realtor because I have kids, and I heard you have to work every night and every weekend. I always tell everybody it's kind of equating like having a baby. Everybody tells you just the bad horror stories.
Yeah.
But it's been a wonderful career for me. I love getting to do what I love.
Yeah, that's great. Waking up every day and just going, woohoo,
Yeah,
it may be.
And it's easy. Awesome. It's easy to work a lot because you love what you do.
Yeah.
And I have grown my business to, I am 97% all referral base.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. For sure. So we talked about how you got started, which is excellent. I feel sorry for your friend that only lasted 2 days.
I know.
I'm thinking what could happen in 2 days that was just so bad.
Yeah.
She said, oh, I gotta go, but hey, that's how some people are like that, right?
Well, there's different mindsets. You got the entrepreneurial mind, and you got just the regular work mind that you want to go to a job and 9 to 5.
Exactly. So tell me about today. I mean, you did mention like 97% of your business is referral based. What areas do you cover, and really how are, so you're referral based. How do you get the referrals? I know that sounds, like, well, they just show up. Well, we know they don't. I mean, there's still contact, there's still reach out, you still have good contact with your former clients that you've consulted with. How do you do it? And, what's your day-to-day like?
Well, my day-to-day, I actually own a building in the neighborhood that I work. And because I'm in Cincinnati, we are in the tri-state in Cincinnati, which is Ohio, Kentucky, Indiana. So we're 15 minutes from the border from everywhere. So I'm multi-licensed. my husband, when our last one graduated from high school, my husband came on the team with me.
Nice.
He'll tell you he's just the sign in the lockbox guy.
Yeah.
So that's what he does. But one of the things, the big things that I do, Tim, I've like every agent, when Zillow came around and realtor.com and all of these other lead sources,
Right.
I fed into that, and I bought leads from Zillow, and I bought all
Yeah.
these other leads. And I quickly found there was actually two things. I found that if I didn't get to that lead in 5 minutes or less,
Gobbled
they
up.
moved on. They were just looking for a warm body. They were not going to be loyal to me.
Right.
Maybe 1 out of 100 would be, but they
Yeah.
weren't going to be loyal to me. They weren't looking for my expertise. They were searching on the internet, and they were just looking for a body. And way back when, I had a couple friends that I knew that bought houses with somebody else, and that would get under your skin. And it's like, why aren't they calling me? They know I sell real estate.
Yeah.
Well, and then I started thinking to put two and two together. Well, do they? I've got this whole database of my church, my family, my kids' friends, everybody that I do. Why don't I love on them?
Yeah.
Why don't I love on them? And why? So I turned my whole business around, and I started working my own sphere, the people that know, love, and trust me. And that was the easier sell, because they knew I wouldn't sell them anything, that I wouldn't sell to my own family, or I wouldn't buy myself. They trusted me. And, I reach out on Thanksgiving. I have a whole
Yeah.
stack of cards going out to my sphere just to thank them for being a client. And I get referrals from them all the time. And I
Nice.
send them a pie coupon from a local bakery.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
And that's something that when you send that, when you start getting regular and you're consistent, um, people notice and they want, where's my pie for Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
Where's my calendar for January, my
Yeah. For sure.
schedule. So those are things, because everybody sends out Christmas cards. So I started doing the thank you card and Thanksgiving. And then I have brand new clients. Well, not brand new clients, all my buyers of that year, they get a homemade ornament with the
Nice.
address, everything on it. And they love to post it. And some of my clients have 3 or 4 ornaments, which is so cool.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I like that idea a lot. So, Holly, if I came up to Cincinnati and we said, hey, let's me, you, your husband, let's go have dinner and let's talk about business, let's talk about Cincinnati, let's talk about things like that. And then I said, hey, you know what? I brought a magic wand with me and I can fix any one singular issue you have on a regular basis. Is there an issue on a regular basis for you that you would like more or less of, or is everything just perfect? I mean, what's the one thing that I could help you fix today?
I am very lucky. Things are pretty good in my world. And like I said, my husband started with me, and back at the beginning of the pandemic, my son, who is 32, took his real estate classes
Oh, good for
9 years
him.
ago,
Yeah.
but he never took his test.
Ah,
And he's a theater major, and he did marketing, and he did outside marketing for huge companies with Kroger and P&G, and and Agar, and
yeah.
experiential marketing, and the NCAA or the NCAA tournaments, things like that. So in
Nice.
2020, he lost his job. So when he came in, I said, why don't you take your test? So he did. He's been working with me since 2020, and he's excelling.
Oh,
So we've got
fantastic.
this nice little family business. I would say the biggest thing is, and what I am trying to do, Tim, is I am like so many realtors. I am OCD, and I have done everything for myself so long, and I've
Yeah.
done, you know, all my marketing, and I built a very successful, and I've taken care of. I've not got to the point where, because I am referral, I have friends, they'll say, oh, my daughter's looking for a house. I haven't turned that over to anybody. I still show houses. I still work
Yeah.
with buyers. last year myself, I had 130 transactions.
Wow, fantastic.
So that's my thing. I need to learn to have faith, trust the people in my organization, and let other people take over certain aspects, because right now I'm doing it all.
Yeah, definitely having trust in the people around you. And it sounds like you've built a team, even with family, and I'm sure there's plenty that aren't family that you can trust. It's just letting go. It's just
It
so,
is.
I'm the same way. I mean,
It is.
and people who excel in real estate are the same way. So
Uh-huh.
you know that going, and meeting other realtors from all over the United States and the world for that matter. That's just how we are.
Yeah, they are. You got to find somebody that's going to love it, your
Right.
business, and take care of it as much as you have.
Right, exactly. So let me ask you this. What does the next 1, 3, 5 years look like for your business? Are you looking to do, bring in more realtors for rev share? I mean, what does it look like for you over the next few years?
Well, my next few years, I just have been looking, actually, it's a great time looking heavily at it. I was just in the top 3 icon agents at EXPCon this year, one of the top 3 finalists. Didn't even know I was nominated, so super excited to be part of that group, of such an elite group of agents. What I see in the next 3 to 5 years, I just completed, it was the second class in the success coaching class at EXP.
Nice.
I mentor agents and I love to coach agents. Love to share the opportunities and share the business, because it's a great career, especially for a mother, anybody looking, to get in, to have a little flexibility, because you do, but you have to work. So
Yeah.
I love to coach people. I have agents that I coach now that it just does my heart good to see them succeed, coming from other careers. And so I love that. So coaching is going to be a big part that you'll see in 3 to 5 years. And I
Nice.
hope to step down a little bit out of the sales side and share the opportunity that EXP has given me with other agents. And what is, was my aha moment at EXP. I've been here 5 years.
Yeah.
And I came, and I'm a very hardworking agent. I've got all the awards, like I told you, in all my companies.
Mhm.
I was an owner in a broker, and I sold my ownership and stayed on as an agent. And I came to EXP, and I was actually, my split was less at EXP than what I was getting at my current broker. But my financial advisor, he looked at the whole program and he said, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
This is a
for sure.
no-brainer. Look, so I've exceeded my income.
Yeah.
I don't have all these, I still have my icon awards, but I'm getting stock. My stock that I have, that I have been gifted, money I get from mentoring, which I did anyway at my brokerage, but all I did there was capital calls. This,
Right.
I'm helping other people and I'm getting compensated for that.
Yeah, it's great.
And then, also I had a top agent say to me, why didn't you ever call me? And I said, and it's like another one of those aha moments. And
Right.
I said, I don't know. I guess I didn't want to be one of those agents.
Yeah.
And I guess I didn't. And he said, it's not about being one of those agents. You had a great opportunity. It's about sharing this
Sure.
opportunity. And that was my aha
Yeah.
moment. And so now I want to share this opportunity. And like he said, it's up to the agent whether they take it or not. I can change your life. If you're selling real estate, you can have so much more and opportunities. And I have a nice rev share line, but I would like to share the opportunity with other agents, because it has changed my life.
Right.
And then I want to write a book.
There you go.
Yep.
I always say writing a book is having a podcast, your own podcast, and writing a book are the 2 things I highly recommend everyone do. And especially in real estate. And one of the reasons is, no matter what is out there, And, me being 52 years of age, I announce it all the time how old I am. And, started a long time ago. Um, People thirst for knowledge, right? I mean, they
Yes.
want to know how people did things, and they want to learn from it, and they want to stand on the shoulders of giants, and they want to not fall down the slippery slope and things of that nature. So I think it's really important to share that knowledge. And like you said, it's about sharing and helping others. Um, Holly, how would someone get in touch with you if they wanted to either list or buy, or maybe they want to look at becoming an agent with you?
Well, there's two ways. I have a website. It's maloneysoldmine.com. Or the easiest way I tell people is call me directly on my cell phone.
Yeah.
It's my personal cell phone, 513-607-1986.
1986. There you
I know.
go.
I always like to tell people that's the year I graduated, but I'm
Hmm.
2 years short of that.
Yeah. You and I split right there in the middle.
I know.
Okay, so here we are, kind of winding down the show a little bit, and I always like to have my guests. I'm just kind of like the DJ spinning the hit record. You're the hit record. Take us out. Tell us something that's on your mind, your heart, your soul. Something you'd like to share with someone. It could be business related. It doesn't have to be. It could be about your pet dog.
Oh,
Whatever you feel like sharing today. Go ahead, take us out, Holly.
what I love to share is opportunity. And this is something I always tell my children. If you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life.
Right.
And that will come to you. And it is so true because I love what I do. I've never focused on my income. Um, and just there's so much gratitude that I have toward my career and toward my agents and toward EXP
Right.
and you said something, Tim, like you said, everybody wants to excel and read. I read a lot. I read a lot of motivational books.
Yeah.
I read a lot, how people did what I did, but I never did anything compromising my family. So if you do what you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life.
Awesome. Awesome advice. Holly, thanks so much for being on the show. I definitely want to keep in touch with you and catch up with you in the near term, see how things are going. Stay with me a little bit after the show so I can fill you in on a couple of different things. But thanks so much for being on today. And I look forward to talking to you again soon.
Oh, thank you so much, Tim. It was a pleasure.
You have a good one, Holly.
Thank you. You too.